everyone. Welcome to DCU Daily. I am your host, John. Lovely to see you all on this terrific Tuesday, according to a certain someone in the chat already, so we appreciate that, but don't worry, we'll shout you out after our little intro here. But today, we have a ton of news. Not a lot of DC stuff, but we got a couple things, couple anniversaries and stuff like that, but it's mainly news stuff, I know. The first thing we're going to be talking about is merger stuff. Don't worry, we're going to get through it quick. It's going to be easy, simple. It's fine. It's going to start at the show, then we're just going to move on really quickly. It'll be less than 5 minutes, I swear to you. Then we have a little bit of MovieTalk Madness for you guys. We have a little bit in regards to the upcoming Project Hail Mary, what the critics are saying in regards to that, as well as a couple things in regards to the upcoming Michael Jackson biopic, the upcoming Tangled remake, the soon-to-be-released body horror teen comedy Slanted, and then as well as a couple trailers. Then we have the award season stuff right at the cusp of the upcoming 2026 Oscars. We have some last-minute predictions, as well as a certain someone making an appearance due to his very popular TV show. Then, of course, we have more of Timothée Chalamet getting dunked on because he's an idiot. And then, finally, some MCU Weekly. We got a little bit in regards to possible sequels coming out. You can probably tell from the title what we're going to be talking about, but we have a little bit more. And then we have our quick hits. And then DCU Daily, we have our DC quick hits, comic stuff, Zach being a bit of a cryptic son of a bitch, and then a little bit of what did Gunn say, celebrating a lot of stuff. So we'll get into that soon, but only after this wonderful Signoffs intro.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always the number two.
All right, Mr. I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding.
You're
kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. You're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chorus.
Right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the world needs now.
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh my goodness, welcome back. Here we are. We are celebrating the wonderful news today, and then I am, of course, your host, John. For all the new people that don't know who I am, there I am. For all the regulars, welcome back. And then, of course, we have some people in the chat already. Monique, terrific Tuesday. Steak, Boursin, and Gruyere soup in the house tonight. Girl, are you like a chef or something? Like, I swear to God, you're just like Gordon Ramsay up in this bitch. Like, we're always watering at the mouth for anything you have to say in regards to what your dinner is. One of these days we gotta get you to come over and like cook for me, Dan, Liz, just all of us. We need to have like an oh so curious party, and then Monique is the caterer and she just cooks for all of us, because I swear to God, y'all. You got some good stuff for us. Enterprising is also in the chat. You did mention that yesterday, how are you feeling under the weather, but don't worry, it's okay. I had a cold and I'm over it. I got over it within the week, so you should be okay. Caleb, lovely to see you. Hello, right dude, lovely to see you as well. Yes, we did talk about that yesterday, and then we are going to be talking about it more today. Thank you for that figure drawing. It has begun. Yes, it has. Also, hi, Decole. Lovely to see you. But before we get into the news proper, well, the news that I would say everybody actually cares about, we do have some merger stuff. I know. I'm sorry. I know we're all sick of it. We're all sick of David Ellison's stupid face and we're all sick of, his bullshit, his temper tantrums, his holier than thou billionaire attitude. We are done with it, but unfortunately the news keeps rolling in, so we're not going to be hearing the end of this for a while. So let's start with it now. Paramount CEO David Ellison meets with top Warner Brothers brass, talks cost cuts, movie outlook, and other aspects of $110 billion merger. Of course, we know that Ellison has been promising a lot of stuff. Now, insiders have been kind of saying, we don't know if that's actually going to be the case here, but we're still going to be talking about it. So, David Ellison ventured into Warner Brothers on the lot on Tuesday for a meeting with top execs, addressing the troops at a delicate time. About 200 top execs from across Warner Brothers, spanning film and TV. So with all of this, Ellison is making a lot of promises in regards to what his role is going to be, what he plans to do. I mean, we know about the 30 film fucking plan that he has, and uh and then Ellison congratulated the motion picture group led by DeLuca and Abdi. You made two of the best movies from last year. I won't tell you which ones. I assume it's the two that are nominated for Oscars, Sinners and One Battle After Another. Even though I don't agree with the latter, I assume that's what he is talking about. But yeah, so essentially just kind of saying all this mumbo jumbo in regards to, visiting the lot. I mean, Hollywood Reporter said the same thing. It was apparently a very turbulent meeting with the executives. This one goes a little bit more. Obviously, this is the exclusive because Hollywood Reporter got to it first. The CEO talked to the Warner's executive leaders, but left some feeling unsatisfied. We were hoping for more, says one insider. So he's already starting out at the bottom of the shit barrel. So we will see. Yes, we're all sick of Crybaby Ellison. Although Caleb, I really appreciate that new PFP because David Lynch is always a win. So yeah, I think that's what we're all thinking. But this had more to say in regards to that. But with all this, many in the room were hoping to hear of a plan moving forward or clarity on timetables or layoffs. Many walked away feeling their hopes were dashed. There was a lot of talk of storytelling and coming together, and Ellison was dismissive of reports of huge layoffs. Yet one person who attended the session adds, "We don't believe him." Yeah, I don't think anybody really believes him. Oh yeah, we're totally not going to have tons of layoffs. We're totally going to have 30 movies a year from both companies. Yeah, okay, David, we'll fucking see about that. So, another exec says that Ellison came across as passionate and very much a lover of movies. That can only go so far. The CEO says he envisions the combined company spending more on the creation of content than any other media company. Ellison has reiterated that the merged company would release at least 30 theatrical films, as he keeps saying over and over again, per year from the combined studios. And he talked about having one streaming platform and one company, while also saying the plan was to keep both studio lots. So we were kind of going into that a little bit yesterday, how he'll keep the Paramount lot, but maybe lease it or sublet it. He was confident and well-spoken, according to sources. A third executive tells THR that Ellison acknowledged the turbulent deal process of getting to today's place, but that may have not been enough for some in the room. There's still a tremendous amount of uncertainty over here. We were hoping for more. So essentially, it's pretty much a mixed, bit of a mixed, response to what Ellison was saying. Some were like, okay, yeah, he was confident about the movies, about coming together, about the streaming, about the studio lots, all that stuff. But also it's like, hey, I don't really give a shit about that. Do I still have a fucking job after all this is done? So, and of course, David Ellison was kind of bobbing and weaving in regards to that. So, yeah, not really a lot of, yeah, he himself might be confident, but obviously, he probably has other plans in regards to, yes, thank you, Caleb. Yeah, not a great sign. Try not to be in debt challenge, impossible. Yeah, exactly. Definitely not a good first impression. Not really not the best impression over here, but we'll see in regards to the coming days, weeks, months, if David Ellison can actually live up to his promises, or if he's gonna shit the bed as badly as a good metaphor. So, we'll see in the coming days, but yeah, Not a great plan. But we still have a little bit more, some easier stuff to talk about. This was addressed in this one, but insiders were talking about, the whole idea of combining Paramount Plus and HBO Max and which would host which. Because as we all know, with Disney buying Fox and like all that stuff, and now Disney owning Hulu, Hulu is now going to become its own like tile on Disney Plus when Hulu eventually goes the way of the dinosaurs. I believe later this year. I think it's in the fall where that is going to happen. So, yeah, so I imagine it's going to be either Paramount Plus is going to be something on HBO Max or HBO Max is going to be something on Paramount Plus. Considering that Ellison got to Paramount first, I would imagine that HBO Max is going to go the way of the dinosaurs. However, HBO Max, many say, is the better streaming service, while Paramount Plus has dealt with streaming problems and doesn't have as much of a rich library like HBO Max does. So it's not going to be easy. And who knows if this is going to work in the long run. I mean, as we saw from the last article, David Ellison has stated his intention to put together Paramount Plus and HBO Max when his giant acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery is complete. But, what is it going to be? In terms of its reach, HBO Max is bigger. Then again, so is Warner Brothers as a company, but that isn't stopping Paramount Skydance from being the buyer. It's good to be a billionaire. Paramount Plus actually has the larger library of the two and more incumbent advantage. The rebuilt HBO Max, however, boasts the newer tech stack, as well as the fact it's just better at streaming. I've heard, I haven't really used Paramount Plus a lot, but I've pretty much heard from most people who use it that it's not a very good, like, streaming, like, the video source is, like, not very, like, how it plays is just not very good. This merger is a terrible idea. Yeah, it's a shit as a bad metaphor. Yes, of course. But neither of the above, when asked by the Hollywood Reporter, Dan Rayburn, a streaming media expert, consultant, and chairman of the Streaming Summit at the NAB show, punted on the main question. But as fourth down decision analysts inform, sometimes punting is the right play. This idea of Paramount Plus / HBO Max integration is frankly too new to contemplate how you can merge two streaming services of that size together. There's no way you would know. So unlike, if like MGM Plus became part of Amazon, that would work because MGM, that has nothing on it and nobody really cares about it and nobody really buys it except for like Dan and maybe 3 other people. So it's just like that could have easily gone to Amazon, but for some reason they kept it. So maybe it'll be the same here. Maybe he wants to put it together eventually, but maybe the first few years would have 2 separate streaming services. So we plan to put the 2 services together, he says, which today gives us a little over 200 million direct to consumer subscribers. We think that really positions us to compete with the leaders in the space. The combined offering, given the amount of content and what we can do from the tech side, really will put us in a position to be able to compete with the most scale players in DTC. So you'll notice, though, Ellison didn't use the word combining. There's a reason for that, and the reason for that is he doesn't even know himself, because the work required if you want to combine services is so extensive and so unknown at this time. Ellison did use the word combined, but Rayburn believes the mogul is leaving the door open for a more bundled or complementary approach. Think, as I just mentioned, Disney Plus and Hulu. At first, Disney was just one partner in the joint venture. Then it acquired Fox's 1/3 stake, then Comcast's. Today, Hulu can be accessed via a tile on Disney Plus or still as its own standalone platform. While Hulu is not going away, it is effectively being phased out as a standalone app as Disney pushes users towards its unified approach abroad. Disney sunsetted Star in favor of Hulu. So, it's a whole lot of technological mumbo jumbo, and this article also goes into what the other THR article was saying, so there's that as well. So it's pretty much, again, it's just like an unknown future in regards to who's going to be the champion. Is it going to be HBO Max or Paramount Plus? Only time will tell, and it's probably not going to be combined very quickly, and we're just going to have to wait. Hello, Ron. Paramount got WB. I thought it was settled. Yeah, no, it's just talking about the ins and outs because David Ellison visited the WB lot today, and that was very mixed. And yeah, so let's just move on from this because nobody wants to talk about it. But hey, final bit of news. Tom Cruise, who ran away from Paramount, is now getting sucked back in after going to WB, but he still left a very nice video for Paramount celebrating the studio's legacy and new era. So that's, yeah, fun times. So at least Tom Cruise is happy, right, Dan?
Yeah, no, look, Tom Cruise, hello everybody. Tom Cruise has always loved Paramount. I mean, he's done a lot of his work at Paramount, even though he did like Edge of Tomorrow at Warner Brothers, and now he's doing more stuff there. But, well, I guess it doesn't really make a difference. It's all the same thing again. Or,
yep,
never mind.
He ran away, but kind of got sucked back into it.
Although,
well, sorry, Tom.
The point out. But like he was always still gonna he was still producing the next Top Gun movie. There's rumors of maybe another Mission Impossible eventually. So he never quite left Paramount proper, but like his office moved to the lot over at Warner Brothers, which will now be under the same company. So yeah, it's a wash. Hello to everybody in the chat: Monique, Enterprising, Ron, Caleb, hello to you, Caleb boy. That doesn't quite rhyme the same way. But anyway, Tom Cruise can run, but he can't hide. Another new photo. I like the profile photo change, Caleb. But no, this is fun. I mean, John M. Chu's directing the reel. I mean, they got John M. Chu who directed the Wicked movies, and then, Secret Video celebrating the studio's legacy. I guess so. He's celebrating Paramount's legacy. I mean, technically, Paramount is older than Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So there's that. So cool.
Cool. Now let's
the
move
mission
on
truly
from
is
this 'cause
impossible.
Everyone's sick of talking about it. So let's move on to movie.
It's a good point though. Maybe Ethan Hunt will cross over with Bruce Wayne now. Maybe we can see that, or at least we can see it in one of those like the Paramount Mountain commercials. What are they called? Like anyway.
I don't know, but it's amusing. Anyway, Speaking of actually good stuff from neither company, but from Amazon / MGM. I were just talking about them. How
he's just Ken.
Amazon
Anywhere
didn't
else,
even bother to
he'd
combine
be a 10.
MGM and Amazon, even though that would have made more sense because nobody fucking has MGM Plus. So,
I mean, but it's their prestige service. It's a niche. Like it's it's their version of HBO. Anyway.
But Project Hail Mary, what the critics are saying about the big budget Ryan Gosling space epic. Is it positive? Is it negative? Well, you can, for all the people excited about the movie, you can sleep a little bit easier because it seems like the critics are a fan of this one, if you care about what the critics think. But apparently, it is at the time of this article, it was at a 94%, although it has gone up since then, and we'll get to that soon. But Deadline's Pete Hammond said, a movie made for IMAX, Project Hail Mary, is mission accomplished. An entertaining and engaging piece of science fiction that suggests even though we may be worlds apart, in order to save us from ourselves, we must band together now more than ever. Empire gave the film 4 out of 5 stars, a very watchable old-school blockbuster crowd pleaser. Ryan Gosling and an alien made of rocks are the best space-based double acts since R2-D2 and C-3PO. USA Today called the film the first great movie of 2026. The science is accessible, and Ryan Gosling is a superb everyman in the excellent space adventure. BBC gave it 4 out of 5 stars, noting its 2.5-hour length, but it says despite that it manages to be zippily entertaining throughout. IndieWire also highly approves. Ryan Gosling goes full Martian, same writer, so that makes sense, and thank the heavens for that in this enormously entertaining and genuinely inspiring adaptation of Andy Weir's other smash hit novel set in space. Robbie Collin gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Gizmodo was also a fan. It's got laughs, it's got stakes, it's got emotions, it's got it all. The Irish Times calls it a sentimental treat. The Independent gave it a 4 out of 5. The Guardian gave it the lowest score out of all of these. It gave it a 3 out of 5, saying Ryan Gosling's charm carries an unserious last-ditch space mission. A bit silly, but Gosling's charisma makes it watchable.
Calm down.
So,
Boo Guardian. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
Boo this man, boo. So yeah,
the Guardian do great work.
It was at 94. Now it's at 96. It's gone up with 100 reviews. And
damn, that's fresh. That's certified fresh.
There's only 4 rotten reviews right now out of 96. Obviously, 100. That's how math works. But it seems like we are going to be getting probably Amazon's first like actually good movie, because they've been kind of struggling with like shit like Red One.
Well,
and
I mean,
the
kind of like
Roadhouse
with
remake.
Apple. Like Apple has had the same issue until F1, right? So this will be Amazon's F1, essentially. Their first
Hopefully.
big blockbuster that was made as a blockbuster and made blockbuster money. Or hopefully it will make blockbuster money. I think the projections are pretty good.
My
so.
friend, she read the book.
Yeah.
She loves it. And she's she has been nonstop talking about this movie. And she's like so excited for it. I was excited for it once I saw that trailer. I'm like, I can't wait for this. I was going to try to read the book beforehand, but I never got the chance, so maybe I'll try to read it after. But I've heard the book is absolutely fucking extraordinary. A lot of people are very happy with the length because there's a lot happening in this movie, so they're happy that it's like 2.5 hours. Hopefully this can maybe, as Dan was saying, this could be Ryan Gosling's first, winner in terms of Best Actor. But I'm not going to hold my breath because the Academy hates science fiction. So, we'll see.
That's not entirely true. Didn't Gravity do really well with Alfonso Cuarón?
Yeah, but that was pretentious artsy fartsy crap. So this is more crowd pleasing blockbuster.
Didn't The Martian win the Golden Globe for best comedy?
Yeah, that was by Sir Ridley Scott. That was again prestigious. So
didn't Phil Lord and Christopher Miller's Spider-Verse movies win Oscars? I'm just saying.
They didn't direct those movies, and plus they were animated
features. But they collected the Oscars for best produced. Well, producers get the best film Oscar, so there's that. I'm just saying.
Do. I mean, God knows Star Trek is failing at that right now, so
Star Trek needs to change a direction because I feel Strange New Worlds is the only thing that they got going which feels like true Star Trek. Starfleet Academy, it shouldn't be so dark that it's hard to see on my TV. And I don't have some 20-year-old shitty TV. I've got OLEDs and the brightest LED screens you can buy and shit. And I'm having a hard time seeing Sally Hunter in this show. I want to see Paul Giamatti in all his glorious glory. But it's hard, because there's when it's not the darkness, it's some crazy light flare, optical flare.
So, I was molded by it. I didn't see the light until after the show was done. Anyway. Those lens flares, remember J.J. Abrams, good times.
But to be fair, the J.J. Abrams movies, the way they did lens flares, the rest of the movie was still bright and easy to see. It's just, now it's dark and the lens flare make it even harder to see what you're trying to watch. So, anyway.
But I'm still excited for this. It's one of my top movies, top movies of the year that I'm excited for. This just looks awesome. Once I heard that Phil Lord and Chris Miller were directing again, I was like, yep, you don't need to sell more. And then they're oh yeah, Ryan Gosling. Okay, I'm already seeing the movie. You don't have to sell it. And then you gave me that bomb ass trailer. Okay, guys, I am already going to see your movie. Stop. I can only get so erect. Guys, calm down. I am going to see the movie. You don't have to sell it to me. Fuck. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I don't know what did you just say?
Here's the thing. For me, it's probably not my most anticipated because Robert Eggers has Werewolf coming out this year, that's probably my most anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
Clayface is up there, and those are probably my top 3 most anticipated of the year. I'm probably and The Odyssey is definitely up there. I mean, I don't know if Brand New Day is up there, but those 4 are probably my top 4 that I'm excited for. So yeah.
Well, I think rightfully so. This movie, like I said, by the way, did you see all the Ryan Gosling sketches from SNL? Especially the Harry Styles bit because he's hosting the following weekend, this upcoming weekend, and I just thought it was great marketing for the movie.
I saw a clip here and there, but I didn't really see anything major.
I thought that was hilarious, but
because Werewolf hasn't really been getting a lot of it's coming out in December. It's coming out Christmas, so obviously there's not a lot of fanfare right now because I think they might have just finished filming or are still kind of filming, but I'm super excited for Werewolf. Robert Eggers is just like, this is the darkest thing I have ever done, and it's like your fucking entire filmography is dark as fuck. So I don't know how you can get even darker with that. Although I have said before that my headcanon is that Robert Eggers was like, okay, cool, Nosferatu, that was my big hit. People are actually going to see it. It's not a failure, blah, blah, oh, this is great. I'm going to celebrate by going to see a movie. I'm going to go see this Wolfman movie. All right, let me go see it. He goes in, watches the pile of shit known as Wolfman. He's like, fuck. Now I got to teach these motherfuckers how to make a werewolf movie. All right, fine, I'll make a werewolf movie. And then he's now going to make a werewolf movie because he's like, I can't have the people thinking that Wolfman is like top brass. All right, I gotta make sure that the people know what good werewolf movies are. And I can't wait for it because Werewolf is going to be awesome because it's Robert Eggers, and Robert Eggers can do no wrong. Now he just needs to do a Mummy movie, although Lee Cronin already has that covered, and the Mummy 4, which people are excited about. But what other major monsters can he do? I don't know, but that would be awesome.
Aren't they redoing? Wait, are they doing another Dracula? I feel like that's.
I mean, Luc Besson just recently did one, and apparently it's really fucking bad. So, yeah, fun times. But anyway, that's not the last of MovieTalk Madness. Now we are going to get into some other news. The Michael Jackson biopic, Michael, sets early screenings 2 days before wide release. So that's pretty cool. I can't wait for that. I would go see an early screening.
Wait, is this is a Lionsgate movie? I'm like, I don't know where I can get a hold of these tickets. I've been searching. You guys let me know. Is this like can you get them in AMC? Is that what this is? Like, go watch it on a Tuesday? Because we gotta do this. We gotta go watch Michael. Like, come on. I'll be walking to the theater just randomly, like, ow.
It's they're gonna go on
moonwalking
sale
about there
in like 9 hours.
Come on, like just
or like not 9 hours for us, but like about about 11 hours for us. So make sure you wake up and get the tickets if because they're gonna get sold out real fucking quickly. So yeah, can't wait for it. It's definitely exciting because it's not one of my most anticipated because it could be another one of those music biopics like the fucking Bob Marley movie or the Whitney Houston movie.
Dude,
that are terrible.
Like, you saw the trailer though. Like, I'm sorry, like it's.
But hey, who knows? Like, I mean, here's the thing: Anton Fuqua's a great director. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, Michael
that's a big part of it for me. It's
but like
Anton Fuqua has not missed
Bohemian Rhapsody. That was fucking terrible.
Okay, well, that's something where you and I completely disagree.
Let's hope it goes for more Rocket Man, because Rocket Man that's like probably the best music biopic we've gotten since Love and Mercy. So like, let's stick with like that way of thinking. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, I'm really excited about this. This yeah. I mean, Enterprising excited.
Good
Hello,
evening.
Case. How are you doing? You don't want no part of this shit, Mike. Another flick that will make ass loads of cash. Yes, it will, Monique. This will be $1 billion movie. I feel like this is more of a guarantee to be $1 billion movie than the Avengers movie this year. Which,
oh yeah, 100%.
And I'm probably exaggerating, but like still, my point is, it's like we've talked about this before, John. Michael Jackson.
I felt Bohemian Rhapsody was very sanitized and felt very like. It was PG-13, and it felt like it. It just like Freddie Mercury was clearly like not that person, and like even like I understand like you're not gonna have like proper accuracy in regards to telling that story, but it just felt so like by the numbers. It felt so generic. It was very weak, and it felt like a remake of Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, and that's a parody. So like that's what.
I feel like, John, like in that movie we got a more visceral look at Freddie Mercury than we did the other members of the band who were alive. It feels like their stories got much more sanitized, whereas they went a lot further talking about Freddie Mercury in ways that I don't know if he would have necessarily allowed or wanted to be portrayed in that way if he were to be was alive today. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of people look at it differently.
It's just like I didn't buy that because it felt like, okay, so here's the interesting part. The people that are alive are like put on a pedestal. Oh, they didn't do the drugs. They didn't do that. Like all the people that are alive got really good headspace shit. And then the guy who's dead was like thrown under the bus and showcased as an asshole. It's like, that's a bit suspicious. And I think it's just the case of Brian May and Roger Taylor being super jealous that nobody gives a fuck about them and everybody cares about Freddie Mercury. So they're like, okay, cool, we'll make ourselves look really, really good, and then we'll just make Freddie look like dog shit to put us on a pedestal. So it's like,
although,
all right.
Again, it wasn't like they made him look like dog shit. I'm just saying, like, I think when I say that, you know, we got a more visceral look at Freddie Mercury, I think it's more like when you say sanitize, I think of it like we got a more honest look at Freddie Mercury's, you know, character flaws.
That's great.
As opposed to like the other guys, because they didn't maybe necessarily want to. But also, here's the thing: the movie's mostly about Freddie Mercury. People want to see the movie, you know, for Freddie Mercury. They didn't go to see the. I'm sorry. They went to see it because it was about Queen. But Bohemian Rhapsody didn't make $800 million for Fox because it was about Brian May, the drummer. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Brian
they
May
got
wasn't
money
even the
out of
drummer.
it.
Roger Taylor
But,
was
like,
the drummer.
whatever the fuck. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't even give a shit. That's the point. I don't even give a shit. Like, it's
nobody gives a shit about that.
I want
the
mic stand, and I want you know the recreation of the performance and the Live Aid concert. Like that's why you went to watch that movie. That was the third act of the film. I'm just saying, like that's, you know,
anyway.
And it's not like Freddie. I thought Freddie had a really hard, like his character arc in the movie is very well executed, and particularly like right now, I mean, he, you know, obviously from Persian descent and what's going on in the world. That's, I think, significant because like that representation matters, but at the same time also, like, I actually have a part Persian, like, you know, a lineage from my mom's side of the family, so I was really you know, like I thought that, you know, I connected to some aspects of that story, his particularly with his family and like how his family like came around to accepting him, you know, for who he was. And but I mean, money and quality of the movie. I thought the quality of the movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, was better than most other biopics I've seen. I couldn't sit through the one with Taron Egerton. Who was he doing it? Like the Sir.
That was Rocket Man.
I couldn't sit through Rocket Man. I'm sorry. I just couldn't.
I love how like Rocket Man is like the unique movie that doesn't fall into the stupid bullshit cliches of Bohemian Rhapsody. It did something unique. It did something interesting. It was a jukebox musical. It did so much greatness, and everyone's like, "Oh, that movie sucked." It's like, you people don't fucking make sense to me. Like,
okay, but like it's fine. Like, but like I'm not saying you loved it. That's great. Like I didn't like it. That's fine. Like there will be times where we, you know, don't have the same viewpoints on things. There will be time we agree. I mean, we're gonna do Tier List Tuesday in a bit. Like I'm sure that will be a lot of fun. So it's
an Eagles biopic. You know what I want to see? You know what I really want to see? And maybe Caleb, you'll agree with me. I would love to see a Pink Floyd biopic, but it's a horror movie. I want to see that movie because, like, with the amount of the fucking drugs that Syd Barrett and Roger Waters did in the fucking 70s, that would be nothing short of a fucking horror movie. Holy shit,
dude!
That
like
would
talk
be
about
great.
Sanitizing your image. They would need to, you know, bleach the hell out of that history to like actually turn it into a movie that's not rated R or rated N-17
I
or
didn't realize
NC-17.
I didn't realize people didn't like Rocket. I thought it was like overwhelmingly positive and people love that movie. I didn't realize people didn't like Rocket Man. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, look, I think and generally speaking, they're both good movies. It's my personal preference is like very much Bohemian Rhapsody compared. And you know what, with music biopics, a lot of it has to do with how you felt about the music and the you know the band or the performer or the singer that the biopic is about. Like I loved Bohemian Rhapsody because I loved Queen, and you know it goes back all the way to the time when I lived in the UK, and like, you know, it was a big deal even though they weren't really. It was well after their time, but the, you know, Queen is an essential part of, you know, British music identity. So I connected to it on a different level than, and like for example with Michael Jackson too. I grew up loving and, you know, listening to Michael Jackson music. So I think we are all going to be partial to stuff like that, right? And it's but even like what would be interesting to see, if I don't think they will show us much of like the negative, you know, aspects of the Michael Jackson story, and I say the story as in Michael Jackson, the person, the character, the career, and everything around that happened, because it's supported by a state. But it will be interesting to see, even if they like touch upon it in any way. It's just, yeah. But at the same time, I'm watching the movie because I want to see those iconic performances be recreated on screen. And Jafar Jackson looks almost literally like a young Michael. So it just. And then you got like Coleman Domingo and like, oh god, like they just got A-list cast alongside him. And Antoine Fuqua. Come on, man, like the guy has not missed for me, and I don't know how long. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think they will show a ton of negative stuff simply because because this is again something that's been at this point, depending on who you believe, even been partially funded by his own state, given that they had to reshoot him most of the movie. But yeah, Lionsgate is working with Michael Jackson's state, so it's unlikely that he's going to be portrayed in a negative light. Although the trailer definitely shows that there's some family drama that they get into, and growing up in the Jackson 5 and how Michael wanted to go off on his own. It's a movie, it's an interpretation of things, but it will still hit $1 billion. I agree.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't think
speaking
there's
of
any
things
doubt
that might hit $1 billion, is the new Tangled remake. Now that they've cast who everybody fucking wanted to see as Mother Gothel. I can't tell you how many people have been fan casting Catherine Hahn as a live action Mother Gothel, even before like the idea of like right after the movie came out, even before like the live action remakes were getting popular. They were like, Catherine Hahn needs to be Mother Gothel in a live action Tangled, and now the fans have gotten their wish. And honestly, I have no interest in the Disney live action remakes because most of them are pretty terrible. But I'd maybe catch this on streaming just for this casting because everybody has wanted her for the role. And I do like Tegan Croft, even though Titans was terrible. I do think she's a very good actress. I don't know the guy who is playing Flynn Rider, but or Eugene as he's better known as. But this might be a fun time. Because like I know everyone's like, I can't wait for when she sings Mother's Knows Best, and I'm like, and like everyone's like, they are fucking foaming at the mouth right now, all the fans, because it's just like, it's essentially the idea of like bullying a studio until you get what you want, and sometimes it works, like Sonic or this. Sometimes it doesn't, but we take the wins where you can.
I mean, I will say this though, this is just Catherine Hahn sort of confirming what, like you said, a lot of us sort of thought or knew, because she's been circling the role, quote unquote, circling is the industry term, but she's been attached or been in talks about this for a while. And like, I mean, I feel like it's look at the photos, like the image right there. She literally is the character. So I think it would be perfect. I mean, yeah, Cher was younger,
Agatha was essentially Mother Gothel. Like that's
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. By the way, I don't know if Michael is going to be 2 parts. That's still not been confirmed case, but that is still the rumor.
Yet. That's like the heavy implication, but we don't know yet.
Maybe we'll just wait to see when how the movie ends. Maybe those early screenings.
I think they're doing because I think what they're doing is they're selling it as personally. This is my theory in regards to Michael. I know that we've already went past this, but just one last thing. I think it is going to be 2 parts. Because they've heavily implied that. But the thing is, I think they're selling it as one movie because they've seen about how part 1 and part 2 movies work in the past. Like, how Wicked Part 2 was like, right. I don't want to say a bomb or anything like that, but it was not as well received as the first. So I think they've seen how like part 1, part 2 movies, where it's essentially split down the line. I think they see that and they're like, let's not go down that line. Let's sell it like one movie, and then once everything is said and done, we'll be like, then they'll be like, oh, we're greenlighting a sequel, quote unquote, but it's already like a second part. So that's what I think. I think they're gonna do that because I think they see how part 2 movies do at the box office, which is not as well. So
right. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the movie ends. Like, I'm just going to be waiting to see, like, because I think that will be telling, like, you get to the end of the movie and they're like, cliffhanger or...
Michael Jackson will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. Michael Jackson will return.
Michael Jackson just moonwalks and just kills Dr. Doom, and then he just moonwalks out. Oh! And then just, gets the hell out of it. But yeah, Mother Gothel, lovely to see.
Yeah.
In terms of not lovely to see is poor racial commentary, because the new movie Slanted, which yes is what you think it is. It is a body horror teen comedy that is described as The Substance Meets Mean Girls, where it's a movie about an Asian girl who wants to be prom queen, so she undergoes surgery to look white. And so that's interesting. A friend of mine went to go see it. He said it was absolutely terrible, and he said the social commentary was very bad. So, however, he seems to be in the minority, because it appears that the critics are very happy with this. It is currently sitting at an impressive 85% based on 27 reviews. So the director of the film is obviously an Asian woman, so she's like she tried to do this like very like deep social and racial commentary about being Asian American in, in this country. And I can't speak on the movie. I just know what the critics are saying. Some say it's like, most seem to be saying it's pretty good. This person did not care for it. But a lot of people are saying, oh, it's kind of interesting. It's a intriguing satire. It's got a little bit of Carrie in there. They call it, powerful, emotionally powerful, and, all that stuff. And this is the new poster, which I will say it's a good poster. But yeah, I don't know if anybody's interested in seeing this. Dan, I don't know if you have any interest in seeing this, but I have no interest. But it's definitely an intriguing thought process.
Doesn't it to me it kind of feels like they kind of, because when I looked at this at first I was like, this looks like Together but with Barbie dolls. But that was just obviously a very superficial like first glance judgment. The premise sounds interesting. I'm not a big horror fan, so that will likely drive my interest down a little bit, but I'm always willing to try. Oh, hello. Hi, Manolo. I'm always willing to try, anything at least once. So I guess if somebody, forced me into the theater to watch it, I wouldn't like just walk out. I would give it a chance and, let it kind of speak for itself.
Yeah, I love McKenna Grace, but even now, even with this, she's been kind of having a lot of stinkers lately, Regretting You, Scream 7, and now this. So it seems like, McKenna, you need another agent. Oh, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Yeah, you need a better agent, honey pie. But I just don't have a ton of interest in this. Like, I love The Substance. I've never seen Mean Girls, so I don't know. I like Carrie, but it just, I don't know. This just feels very weird, and I feel like I can't really say much about it as a white guy. So, like, I don't really know. But yeah, this just didn't, like, I'm like, it could be good, but someone I trust who I have similar tastes to said it was not very good, so I probably won't give this a watch. But yeah.
Yeah. No, good point. I well taken. But the Rotten Tomatoes score, what did you say the Rotten Tomatoes score was?
It was at 85% at 27 reviews.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the double eyelid surgery is exceptionally popular. Like Figure Drawing making a good point.
I know I think it's in Korea, they sell like certain skin bleaching products to make themselves look whiter, because that shows like prestige and like you have better like social standing or something like that. I remember reading something about that because I saw like commercials and ads for it. Like I remember like I saw like an article on it, like, oh, these are ads and they're real, and like this is like, it's just like it's a different culture, so obviously we can't comment on it too much. But yeah, it's definitely very intriguing in that aspect. It's just like, okay. But yeah. Let's move on to the last bit of Movie Talk Madness. Well, we go into TV Talk Terror for this one because we are getting another remake, this time in TV show form. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II goes on a rampage as John Creasy in Man on Fire TV adaptation trailer. The Netflix 7-part thriller about a broken former Special Forces mercenary out for personal redemption will launch April 30th on the streaming giant. As you know, this was previously a Denzel Washington movie. I think Dakota Fanning was also in it. And then there was another movie in, I think, the 80s. I think it had like Scott Glenn in it. That was the original, and it's based on a book. So this is the third adaptation in regards to Man on Fire. Could be good, could be bad. I haven't seen the 80s movie or 90s movie, and then I haven't seen the Denzel Washington version, so I don't know how. I mean, I've heard Man on Fire is very good, the Denzel Washington version, that is.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know if you have any major thoughts on this.
Yeah, I appreciate a good remake. Yeah, the Denzel Washington. A TV adaptation. Look, yeah, right now coming off of Wonder Man, and even going back to what he did with his role as Black Manta in the Aquaman movies, and everything is done past that, but especially Wonder Man recently. I will watch Yahya Abdul-Mateen II in anything. So yeah, give me Man on Fire. I'll watch it. It's yeah. Oh, thank you, MTG, for sharing that. But yeah, no, the movie's pretty good, like you said, Caleb, and I simply because he's attached, I will at least give it a chance, and it will be interesting to watch. It's just now I think like 80s IP and 90s IP being rebooted. I think we're kind of like in another wave of that. So it's being adapted in different mediums, or being rebooted or requelled or whatever. Like it's always another remake. Yeah, I mean, look, but that's part of the fun. But that's part of the reason why you would do this, because you want to make a movie into a TV show. So yeah, Tony Scott, the late Tony Scott. But yeah.
1987 was the original adaptation. Scott Glenn, yes, was in it.
I mean, it's so long ago, right? Like I feel like it works.
Yeah. But that one was directed by El Shiraki. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But it's the 1980 novel by A.J. Quinnell. You have the 1987 movie, then was done again in 2004 with Denzel Washington, and now we have this version. So, yeah, I mean, could be good, could be bad. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, it's I'm interested. I'm interested. It piques my interest, which is, I think, always a good thing. So
what piques my interest, Dan, is the
what? Please do
award
tell.
season. The award season.
Okay.
Because we still have last minute. I mean, with Sunday coming in fast. We have some final Oscar predictions, who will win and should win.
Right.
In the ultimate showdown between an actually good movie and then PTA's dog shit propaganda movie. So yeah.
I enjoyed both, to be fair. Now, I actually didn't see One Battle After Another in theaters, but I did enjoy. I did watch Sinners in theaters. Well, I watched Sinners. Yeah, I watched Sinners, and actually, I think I watched it in IMAX.
Both in Dolby, if I remember correctly. Yeah. But yeah, I saw Sinners, One Battle After Another, Marty Supreme and F1 in theaters, and then Frankenstein. Obviously, I had to watch that on Netflix, and unfortunately, with the award re-releasing, my theater never got any of them, which was a bit of a shame. But I'm gonna be getting the Criterion, because that's been announced already. Like, we got Pinocchio, and now we're getting Frankenstein. Right. Although, poor David Fincher, he's not getting any Criterion releases. Only Guillermo del Toro for his Netflix releases. So, yeah, I don't know if you have any major one yawn battle after another. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. My personal favorite out of all of them is Frankenstein. Out of all of them, out of the 4 out of 5 of them that I've seen, I wouldn't mind any of them winning, except for One Battle After Another, which is ironically the one that's probably going to win, because it swept everything except for, I think, the BAFTAs or was it no, it was SAG, wasn't it? I know like 1 or 2 of them. One Battle didn't win. I think Golden Globes was
Sinners. Sinners won the actors. Sinner won the actors.
But Sinners won SAG. Okay, so that's what it was. Yeah. Congratulations. I mean, I think Timothée Chalamet gave a better performance, but I also would really want Michael B. Jordan to win because he did such an exceptional job. It's just I pray to fucking God Leonardo cuck boy in a robe doesn't fucking win anything because that would be embarrassing as fuck. So,
Well,
yeah, my favorite is I agree with you, movies. So my favorite is Frankenstein.
By the way, we will be ranking the Oscar Best Picture nominees on Tier List Tuesday tonight that you guys voted for. I think, look, here's the. You guys want to talk about final predictions? If you want to go through this, by the way, I think some of the who will win, who should win. I think it's always a good, comparison. And Variety does this every year, and they do a pretty good job with it. Particularly with like the big ones. I think Sinners will win, and I think Sinners should win. One Battle After Another is so close in my mind, though, that I'm okay with Sinners winning, but I wouldn't be like, oh my god, they screwed Sinners if one battle won, then I'll be okay. Like, they're saying the same thing.
So
could win.
This is what's saying.
Yeah.
Will win is Sinners. Could win is One Battle After Another. Should win is The Secret Agent. And then should have been
Wagner
nominated
Moura,
is
man.
the voice of Hind Rajab.
That's to me, that's a tragedy. The Hind Rajab movie should have gotten a lot more attention at the Oscars.
Didn't that get nominated for international?
Did it? I don't know.
It did.
But like, that's the one about it's a girl in, I think, Palestine who was getting I think she died. Like, she calls these the people who are meant to be like, providing aid and helping folks who are under fire. It's just it's a really
as Ron says, it's
really
the best
heart-wrenching,
depressing movie of the year.
So the volunteers of the Palestine Red Crescent Society, they stay on the phone with a 6-year-old girl who gets trapped in a car in war-torn Gaza, which I haven't seen it yet all the way, but like I've seen bits and pieces of it, and I've like heard people talk about it endlessly, and the parts that I've even seen, the trailers, are absolutely heart-wrenching, and just the description alone. I mean, it's a 6-year-old girl. It's I don't know. Like, I was really disappointed that it did not get the attention that it actually got a lot of festivals and other award organizations. But I mean, it's I don't want to like harp on it for too long, but like, yes, as far as the movies that are out there, Ryan Coogler's Sinners should win Best Picture. In my mind, I mean, Best Director. If whichever movie wins Best Picture,
it did get
usually
nominated for Best International Feature Film as the Tunisian entry. It was not also nominated for non-English language film at the Golden Globes, but it did not win.
Yeah. So,
anyway, let's cool it with the political.
We're not here to talk about the politics of it. I just think on a
political
human
chat, if you say more shit like that, you're gonna get put in timeout. All right, don't go there.
Yeah, because I think for me, it's on a human level. That story is just it just breaks your heart. So it's
I don't know. I haven't seen a lick of anything with Ethan Hawke. Like, in terms of could win, honestly, could win. I would say Timothy Chalamet more. Like, I think he dropped after his bullshit comments, and we're getting to those soon again.
I was gonna say, like, just yesterday we were talking about how he's probably screwed himself out of it.
But yeah, Michael B. Jordan. I hope either of them win, because I think Timothy Chalamet did a great job, and I'm not like a super fan of his. I'm not like bowing at the almighty altar of fucking Timothy Chalamet. I'm not one of those fucking people. But I will admit, when he gives a great performance, he gave a fucking great performance. So, I think it's earned. In terms of actress, I don't really have a ton. I don't really care about any of them here. Like, I feel like, it's probably going to go to Jessie Buckley, and, good for her. But yeah, I don't know if you have anything. We're not going to go through the entire list, obviously.
No. I know. I think Michael B. Jordan is going to win Best Actor. It's to me, it still feels like the race is tipped against him. But given that he won at the actors, and a lot of actors, are in the Academy that also vote for the SAG Awards or the Actor Awards, I think that Michael B. Jordan has momentum. Like, that was a big swing in his favor, especially because that was before the voting closed for the Oscars. I think Jessie Buckley, it would be a huge upset if anybody other than Jessie Buckley won, because she's swept every big award leading up to this point for Hamnet. So she's pretty much she's the only lock in the big like acting, the best film, best director categories, like the big six, the lead actor, lead actress, supporting actor, supporting actress, and then best film and best director, the big six of the night. The only category where there is a lock that's pretty much almost guaranteed is Jessie Buckley. I think Kate Hudson would be a big surprise. Didn't she? I think Kate Hudson won. Like, didn't she? What was the Golden Globes? Was it or?
I think she won for best musical or comedy.
Best musical or something. But the thing that's the thing that Golden Globes do. They have like two categories, and like that's sort of like at the Oscars. There's only one equivalent. So the Golden Globes always want to have their cake and eat it too, which is fine. But I mean, look, Delroy Lindo. If Sinners starts to really sweep its way through the night, you will know much earlier in the night, but like where you get to like because they also spread out these actor awards throughout the night, so they want to keep the audience watching. So like the supporting actor awards will be given out earlier in the night. If Delroy Lindo picks it up, which they're saying here in Variety that he will, where Sean Penn is another one.
I can't say anything about Stellan Skarsgård. I would say I would not mind if any of these won except for Sean Penn. I thought Sean Penn was terrible. I don't think he gave a good performance, but I thought Benicio del Toro was great, even though I didn't like the movie very much. Jacob Elordi is my favorite because I love Frankenstein, and he did such a fucking extremely excellent job in that movie. But I wouldn't mind if Delroy Lindo won. I think that Delroy Lindo would be great, but I have a sneaking... This is probably both supporting actor or supporting actor and actress. Those are like the least locked in because those have been like all over the place. Yeah, because I know I'm blanking on her name in Sinners. She was also in BVS. I'm blanking on her name.
Who are we talking about? What character?
The actress from Sinners who was Smoke's love interest.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, hold on.
Blanking on. Hold on, she might be because she.
Wunmi Mosaku.
Mosaku. Yeah. Okay, that's who I was thinking of. I know she won for something. I think she won the BAFTA, and then but I would love. Here's the thing. I think she was excellent. I just hope Teyana Taylor doesn't win because I think Amy Madigan was excellent. I thought Mosaku was excellent. I thought both of those were excellent. I don't think Teyana Taylor is deserving of it. I can't speak for sentimental value, but I do love Elle Fanning as an actress, so that would be nice to see. I don't know the other chick, but yeah.
Yeah, it's I think this is where M2G pointed out the biggest. Thank you, Monique. Yeah, it was Wunmi. Last name I'm completely forgetting right now.
Mosaku.
Wunmi Mosaku. Mosaku.
If we're pronouncing it wrong, we apologize. But
we genuinely apologize. But M2G made a great point. The actors in the Academy make up the biggest percentage of the voting body, and the Actors Awards, the Sinners kind of almost swept all the big categories. So that's where I really think like you'll find out early in the night how well Sinners is about to do because if they start winning the two, like if they sweep the two supporting actor ones, which by the way, in both instances, I'm completely happy with Benicio del Toro picking up the best supporting actor, or like Amy Madigan sort of winning for Weapons, which would be a huge coup for Warner Brothers, a third movie winning a big acting award. Thank you, Monique, for confirming our pronunciation. But I would definitely, be like, okay, if Delroy Lindo picks it up, if Wunmi Mosaku picks it up, then we might be in for a night where Sinners is like, every other award is going to Sinners, because then it will start winning the technical awards, which it deserves quite a few of. And yeah, I like Ron is saying maybe it picks up 7 total trophies. There is a very good chance, and I'm being very serious when I say this, guys, that Sinners could give Lord of the Rings a run for its money for the record, number of Oscars won.
That's a win for horror. And I don't love it as much as everybody else does. I still love the movie. I don't give it like a 10 out of 10 or whatever. But I think it's still like a great movie, and the thing is, it's a win for horror. Even though they won't admit it's a fucking horror movie, it's a fucking horror movie because it was a horror movie, and then when it started getting nominated for awards, it's suddenly not a horror. It's a thriller now. It's a thriller. So a win for horror is a win for me. So I'll gladly take Sinners. It's like That's like how I was with The Substance. I didn't love it as much as everybody else did, but if that somehow magically fucking won the Best Picture, which I knew it never would have, if that won, then I'm like, it's a win for horror. That's all I care about. So, you know.
No,
Yeah,
I agree with you. I think we might be in for a night where I don't know if they're gonna sweep 16 for 16, but there's a very good chance Sinners could walk away with like a dozen Oscar trophies, and like Ryan Coogler could be doing what Sean Baker was doing last year with even more trophies in his arms. Like they could be like
I also
big,
do believe that Odessa Azion should have been nominated. I thought she gave another great performance in Marty Supreme.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun night. I think Sinners winning a lot is gonna just make the show better. Like, because it will be just more enjoyable to me. Because I think the Sinners of all those Best Picture nominees will be again ranking later on tonight in Tier List Tuesday, and we actually have Liz's tier list rankings because she's not with us, but she told us what she thought about them. Hello, Eric. I think Sinners has the greatest cultural zeitgeist presence in terms of like the average person watching the Oscars. You talk about the Best Picture nominees, F1, obviously a lot of people saw, but like most people, for example, probably didn't see Sentimental Value, probably didn't see Secret Agent. A lot of people probably didn't go to see Hamnet. One Battle After Another, Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme was like, kind of grew on you and like, had that cult following, and so people, there's really good word of mouth. But like, I think the two most popular movies in the Best Picture category are F1 and Sinners. Those are the movies that most people saw, and they were two zeitgeist movies. So in that sense, if Sinners starts to win, I think the Academy and like the Academy as in the people who run the Academy, if you want the better ratings for the show,
to see it before the ceremony, I might catch it. But I just have I have a ton of interest.
I hope Caleb just wants to spite the Safdies.
Which I could see because Josh Safdie is a fucking piece of shit. So like, I kind of agree with that.
I hear what you mean by it shouldn't beat Lord of the Rings, but like shoulda, woulda, coulda, blah blah blah. Like I'm saying, there's a chance because when it rains, it pours at the Oscars. We have seen it in the past. So, and the thing is about that figure drawing, the odds. Here's the thing. I'm not talking about Polymarket. Nobody knows who's. I mean, you can go off polls, but it's hard to predict. The Oscars have been very unpredictable, especially in the last few years when they've started to really expand their voter base and diversify. There's a much more of a international block of voters than there used to be. Like Ryan Gosling got nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Everybody, like that's the world we're living in.
Say,
who would have thought Ken would have been nominated for an Oscar?
If there is the only thing I would think, if there is a big upset for the night, is if K-pop Demon Hunters does not win. That would be the biggest upset of the night, I think. Like, there's nothing else that would win. Is K-pop Demon Hunters? That's gonna win. And if it doesn't, the weebs and the gooners will be after the Academy's ass. Like,
you know what?
Guarantee.
I just want Elio to win just to spite Pete Docter a little bit. Although I don't know if it will spite him because, like, I guess the version that he wanted to put out there got put out. But anyway, Zootopia 2 could be the one that can upset it.
Yeah, but the thing is, the thing that's interesting about it is...
Yes, you're right, Ron.
Disney has not won the past 3 years. It was Flow, Into the Spider-Verse. It was Flow and two others that have been winning the past 3 years. I forget the other...
Okay, let's take a look.
Hang on.
Oscars Best Animated.
I'm looking it up now. Yeah. So Flo, The Boy and the Heron, and Pinocchio were the last three to win. So
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, right? You're talking about.
Yes, Guillermo del Toro's, but not the fucking shitty Disney one. Right. Nobody gives a fuck about that one. But it's because for the most part, this like decade, more non-Disney movies have won than Disney movies because Soul and Encanto won. But...
Dude, Toy Story, because Disney had a streak. Toy Story 4 in 2020, Soul in 2021, Encanto in 2022, and now they've gone barren for 3 years. Before 2020, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse won, but before that, Coco won. So at one point, Disney had won, and actually before that in 2017, Zootopia, before that in 2016, Inside Out.
So
it was
in terms of
6 out of 7, they had won in a row.
And so for Into the Spider-Verse, that was the first time that a non-Disney movie won since 2011/2012 with Rango. So yeah,
which was a DreamWorks movie. Yeah, the Johnny Depp one. Yeah. That's Disney was. I mean, outside of like you said, Into the Spider-Verse. So we've definitely. I think it's also a sign of the times because Into the Spider-Verse sort of changed the game for animation, and you could tell that while Toy Story 4 and Soul and Encanto kind of kept it up for Disney, Pinocchio, very different kind of animated movie, not that predominant Pixar style, the Disney animation style. The Boy and the Heron, obviously Miyazaki, that very well deserved. Flow, which Liz will always tell you was very much not deserving. By the way, I don't know. I
haven't seen it, so I can't judge. So I don't know.
But I mean, as far as some of the other, the technical categories, I think we don't need to get into too much of that here because usually what happens is a lot of people kind of like down the ballot vote for the same movies they voted at the top. So, and then it gets super technical. You'll see like on some movies like Avatar. F1
Here's the thing,
stuff,
figure drawing, never bet against the horny people because Rule 34 has been having a fucking field day with K-pop Demon Hunters. So don't even go there. It might not be anything within the movie, but there is indeed lots of it, and it's anyway. But unfortunately, I am witnessing to a lot of horrible shit on the internet, so I see a lot of stuff I don't want to see. So how many jars do you own? Here's the thing. Flow is like everybody loves it except Liz, who thought it was AI. So like she's not really like someone who speaks for the movie. So
I got 2 cats around me now, so like I can't.
It looked interesting. I would have gone and seen it, but like I just couldn't find it. I'm curious now. Hang on. No, I don't care about that. It's on HBO Max. I'll try to watch it on HBO Max.
Yeah, I saw on my list of things to watch. Yep. It's been on my list.
I'm just kind of going through. I got makeup and hairstyling, and
I mean,
sound.
Is there?
If F1 doesn't win sound, I'm beating somebody up.
Also, I want Hans Zimmer to win for best soundtrack. I'm sorry, but like I thought the F1 soundtrack was the best soundtrack of the year. Like I really want F1 to win that category.
But Dan, Ludwig Göransson.
I get it, but like it's not Ludwig's best work. That was one of Hans Zimmer's best things he's put out since like Man of Steel.
The thing is, he's not even nominated. F1 isn't nominated.
Fuck stop it! Like I thought they were nominated anyway. Whatever. It's
no. Honestly, Frankenstein, Sinners.
It's a travesty.
I've heard the Hamnet soundtrack is really good. So
Begonia, really? I know.
Thank you, Ron. Fucking thank you. Warfare not getting nominated. I don't care if it fucking got nominated for anything else. The fact that Warfare did not get nominated for sound is such bullshit. And that was a fucking political move too. Go fuck yourself for that one. The fact that they did not fucking get nominated for best sound is bullshit. That had the best sound. Like F1, out of the ones nominated, F1's the best. But out of the entire fucking year, Warfare had the best sound. Jesus Christ. My jaw was on the floor. Holy shit, the sound of that movie was fucking... And I saw that in the theater, too. So I got full sound, the best sound possible. So holy shit, that was fucking excellent.
It's kind of like when I went to watch Dunkirk in IMAX, and then I thought my ears blew out by the end, but I was like, that was an audiovisual immersive experience that I've never really felt before for a movie that probably only had 2 pages worth of dialogue, which is insane to think about.
That's another bullshit. Like fucking Jurassic World Rebirth gets nominated for visual effects, but Superman doesn't. Bullshit. Get out of here.
Simply because they had like more CGI dinosaurs. Like there's more.
Honestly, I would have taken Fantastic Four. That entire black hole sequence was worthy of a nomination. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway.
Yep. Anyway. Well,
But
I mean, you guys let us know. What are your big picks?
I
Like, are
hope
there
I Lie
movies
to
you
You
guys
win,
think,
but I
you know?
won't mind a golden. Just as long as
Yeah.
fucking Diane Warren doesn't fucking win for the fucking her own documentary that she gets fucking like a nomination. That's such bullshit. That's such bullshit. I pray to God gold. I don't care. As long as fucking Diane Warren doesn't win, I'm cool with golden. I'm cool. Like I Lied to You is my favorite out of all of these. I don't know, anything out of, I don't know Viva Verdi or Train Dreams, but like Jesus Christ, fuck Diane Warren. Fucking bitch. Anyway.
Okay. Okay. I'll be right back, but like continue.
But yeah, so we're so unfortunately the biggest problem with this is even though the voice of Hind Rajab is among the favorites for a lot of people, considering that Secret Agent and Sentimental Value are both nominated for Best Picture, one of those is going to win. We just don't know which one, which is a shame, but that's just, and then you have animated short, you have documentary short, the stuff that aka nobody cares about, you have live action short, and yeah, so obviously we're not going to go through it. If you want to check this out, it's on Variety, final Oscar predictions, but that's not the only Oscar news we have. We have one more. Fiona is somewhere having something. But apparently Hudson Williams is going to be attended to the Oscars. Our favorite boy ass, our favorite gay boy is going to be at the Oscars. So that's nice to see for all the fans of Heated Rival. I don't know why he's showing up. He's on a TV show and it's for movies. So I don't know. Just like, I guess he's just trying to bring more people to watch the show. It's like, hey, sexy guy you like is going to be at the ceremony. Isn't that great? So yeah, cool. If you were happy about that, then great. I don't know where Fiona is, but I hope she's happy. Anyway, but yeah, that's it for award season. Obviously, now we're gonna get into more fun stuff in regards to your boy Timmy. Yes, it is great. Hudson is named, and Fiona comes into the chat. That's not the only thing that's coming. Anyway, watch our gay hockey show, please. But Timothy Chalamet, the man who was like the heartthrob, is no longer the heartthrob because everybody hates him now because he's an idiot. But Dan,
All right, like where? Yeah.
but he we're gonna but Angelica Jade Bastian, who I believe is a writer. I'm not familiar with her, but she had this to say in regards to what Timothy Chalamet was saying. But in regards to the whole of moviedom, so there's that as well. But Chalamet might not realize it, but he is expressing a fear that is not being reckoned with by his peers. So he said, yes, Hollywood is in she had this to say. Yes, Hollywood is in a financial crisis, but it is also in an artistic crisis. So many films fail to engage meaningfully with the concerns, pleasures, and contradictions of modern humanity. Meanwhile, movie stars have tweaked their faces and bodies into a startling sameness that hews towards the most fascistic markers of beauty, extreme thinness, whiteness, no signs of passage of time. I don't want movies to become so niche they no longer apply to the public. If an art form in our current late-stage capitalist hell becomes viable thanks only to the good graces of moneyed benefactors, much like what ballet and opera have become, it will eventually curdle and die aesthetically, existentially, and finally materially. So I think this is a very intriguing idea in regards to what Timothy was saying. So you kind of dunk on him a little bit, but at the same time, I was like, well, you're part of a failing industry because, like, I mean, sure, we've kind of got bounced back a little from COVID, but we're still at a point where there's a movie theater closing like every day, month, week, whatever it is. Like, you have so many movie theaters closing. People like Nolan and Tarantino grasping onto the movie theater experience and wanting that to be showcased as much as possible. That's kind of dying as well because it's becoming so expensive. And it is, ironically, movies are kind of becoming what theater, ballet, and opera are. It's for the rich people because, like, all of these things started off as, blue collar entertainment, like theater was, ballet was, opera was. They were for the people. And then, like, as time went on, as whether it was capitalism or not, it just morphed into, the rich's entertainment. So then ballet became, that's for the rich people. And then opera, that's for the rich people. Then theater became, that's still kind of, a little bit more even than opera and ballet, but that's still kind of, it's seen by, everyday people that is kind of like a richer accommodation in regards to that. And now movies are kind of becoming the same way. Gaming is becoming the same way. That's not even also not being talked about enough, is because, like, not just the Rampocalypse and all this shit, but like, console gaming, like with how the technology is being affected there. Like
Thank you,
Xbox is
Fiona.
on the way out. PS5 with its dynamic pricing, that might be on the PlayStation. That might be on the way out. Nintendo's the only one that's kind of championing it, and then PC stuff is becoming way too expensive. So gaming might be going the way and then everyone's just gonna be reading books at a certain point because, like, but even then, comic books and literature, those are not as big as they once were. So
no, you're right.
Entertainment is, like, almost in a weird sort of way dying. Like, entertainment, obviously we're gonna have still find ways to entertain ourselves because that's how we are as human beings. We're gonna find something, but it's just like, it's kind of becoming like entertainment is now becoming for the rich, and the peasants are no longer able to kind of distract themselves from the horrors of reality anymore, and we have nothing to really deal with that. Sorry for the depressing kind of story, but it's just like this person Bastian brings up a really good point that Timothy Chalamet did touch on, like, in a very stupid attempt at humorous kind of way. But she's like, well, I mean, he's not wrong that it's like the idea of, like, these things are like higher than, like, the only reason that opera and ballet have survived so long is from rich benefactors and charity. And it's not because of sold out tickets. Well, they said that, like, with, like, dunking on him a little bit. It's if, and I remember somebody making a video on this, like, if we did not have the rich benefactors for ballet and opera, it would be gone overnight. Like, the people paying to see those, like, for the seats to watch, those would not be a stable income for those arts at all. They rely on rich people to donate to them because rich people want to see this continue, and that's kind of weird. And like, we're probably gonna have that with movie theaters. Like, you're gonna have, like, fucking Christopher Nolan donating half his salary for the movies he makes to, like, movie theaters for them to survive, or like other rich directors that actually have money to spend can, like, we're gonna, like, donate, or like you're gonna have this person donate, or like David Ellison, who seems to be a fan of the movies, is probably gonna start, like, donating to movie theaters to keep that alive if he actually gives a shit about it. So it's just like a very weird kind of state for entertainment right now. Could we bounce back? Maybe, hopefully, but it's like all the things that were considered cheaper entertainment, like movie theaters, like gaming, and even comic books, like, those are becoming more and more expensive, and the people who want that escapism can't afford it anymore. So there's a lot to say about that. So
no,
anyway.
I mean,
I kind of
you're
filibustered.
right.
I apologize, but yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong though, in the sense that I feel like I guess, like, I'm trying to like collect my thoughts because this is such a big topic, but Timothy Chalamet was not trying to point this out, by the way. but
no, he wasn't. It
like
just
we
kind of got brought up in that way.
But it's a good, but it's sort of, it's almost inferred. Like I think it's a great point that Angelica here is making. Angelica Jade, what's her last name? Bastian, cultural critic, over at Vulture, which is great outlet. I mean, there's behind a paywall, so but if you do get a chance to read some of their stuff, I get it through like Apple News or whatever, but like we need to preserve like all forms of art and like it will wither and die if you don't care about it, like you said, John. Ultimately, I feel like I'm repeating some of what you're saying, but yeah, like visit your public library, go to the local arts council, like what Fiona's mentioning. I know a lot of us already do that. Go to the museums, go watch just the movies. If you're just a fan of the movies and that's the kind of art that you like, then go watch that, support it. I mean, I do force Fiona to go a few times, all the time, to the movies, but the communal experience of the movies, the communal experience of, experiencing whether it's poetry or movies or even book clubs, or comics. Like there's a couple of good, comic book communities that I'm aware of where they literally all they do is get together and, talk about the comics that they love. It's like, it keeps hope alive that, we still believe in those kind of art forms, because the alternative, like you said, John, is like this generative AI stuff. And like Figure Drawing is pointing out too, is that really the future that we want? Because we have that choice, a sketchbook club, that's another one. So hope means nothing without action. That's also true, Ron. Like it's like we can talk about it all we want, but if you don't put it to action, then yes, because ultimately these studios and organizations, they will follow the money. They're there to make, so businesses in general, they're designed to make money. So they will, they'll put their money wherever the people, like wherever the demand is. So if we demand more AI generated videos, then there will be more AI generated videos. If you want more authentic human stories being told by real humans, where sure AI might be used as a tool, but it's not like, you're generating something which clearly looks like it's, a half measure, fake looking, not real story. If you support those real genuine human stories, like Sinners, like Weapons, like The Secret Agent, like Hamnet, then that's what we'll get more of. It's up to us to do that. And I think Timothy Chalamet, while he was not making this point at whatsoever, I just think like
I'm not
it
saying
points.
He was. I'm just saying
no, not totally. But I think like Angela, she picked out something very interesting, that it's sort of, it's the thing that he's not saying that we should be paying attention to, because that's almost speaks louder than what he did say, because you got to almost imagine like, why is he saying what he's saying? But maybe what he's saying is sort of applicable, like you said. I think you did a great job of summarizing what he said and analyzing, John. But yeah, it's like we need to cherish the art forms. And here's the thing, to be honest, like yes, theater and ballet is not as popular or doesn't quite generate the same kind of numbers and revenue and profits that movies do, but still a lot of people go to Broadway, a lot of people go to the West End. Like it's still a popular art form.
It's popular,
it's just a different kind of art form. Like it's like the highest selling comics in the world will not generate the kind of money that a big Batman movie will do, right? We've talked about the absolute universe, but that doesn't mean that in its own medium it's not successful. So I think some of what Timothy Chalamet said was very shallow. I think he realized it in the moment. He sort of, tracked back right at the same time, especially looking at the death stare that Matthew McConaughey was giving him. We talked about it the other day, of course. But, I mean, is it niche, MTG? You could say that, but you could also say that about movies. Like us in our bubble, we don't think the movie going today is niche. But quite frankly, like there's still a big percentage. I don't know if it's half the people, but there's a significant chunk of people who, since the pandemic, never quite got back to going to see the movies in theaters the way they used to, because they're not movie fans in the way that like most of us are watching this show. They just would go to see a movie every once in a while. It's more of a luxury, and they're like, I'll wait till it comes out on streaming, which I think, Hollywood sort of created that problem for themselves. It's a lot of like, Wall Street, butting their heads into Hollywood and creating this system where Hollywood had this, amazing system, which for fans sometimes felt like difficult, because it meant like, oh, if I don't see the movie in theater, if I don't want to rent it, and if I don't want to buy it, I would have to wait 18 months for it to show up on TNT, for example, if it was like a Warner Brothers movie or like an Avengers movie. But like that meant that every step of the way, like the studio would make money. Everybody who, had a back end points deal, whether it's an actor, director, everybody made money. Like if when it was playing in theaters, they would play longer. Then after they went from theaters, they would be on, you know, some streaming windows, but generally you would first be in your PVOD. Like, so you would be renting the movie digitally. You would be
This is your
buying
brain
it
on
digitally.
Kardashian, folks.
Then
Remember that.
you know. And then, you know, you go buy the physical release. Like, remember, they did this with Top Gun Maverick not too long ago. We've seen this movie many times before, metaphorically speaking. But, like, at every step of the way, Top Gun Maverick made a ton of money. You know, it topped the charts for on iTunes when it became available after it came out of theaters, like months after it came out. And then it topped the charts for like physical media sales. And you know, then when it got to Paramount Plus, it still topped the charts on Paramount for weeks at a time. It still ends up in the top 10 at Paramount Plus all the time. So we know that works, but like Wall Street doesn't like that. Wall Street likes simple. That's why Wall Street loves Netflix when they're not buying Warner Brothers, but they hated them when they were buying Warner Brothers, because that meant things were going to be complicated. They weren't just streaming. And but the thing is, if like the streaming ecosystem that's around today collapses tomorrow, like what the fuck is Netflix gonna do? Like all it does is streaming, you know. Like you gotta like hedge against those kind of things, and that's why I think, and for better or for worse, I think Netflix would have been. I think that the Paramount deal and combining with Warner Brothers kind of works out in the sense that Paramount is keeping all of those different businesses together because they also feed into each other. They're integrated into each other. With Netflix, you would have, you know, already seen the networks get kicked out, and then other IP would have gotten consolidated. And Netflix never made promises like 15 movies a year. So even if they were sending movies to theaters, there was no guarantee they were going to do like, I don't know, 5 Warner Brothers movies a year. They'd be happy to send 8 movies into theaters. You know, like there was, so in some respects, I'm sort of, you know, and I'm happy that the traditional systems of Hollywood that benefited the most amount of people that work on those projects, because it's a knock-on effect from all the way from top to bottom. We will be getting hopefully more of that. Now again, there's no guarantee there. Maybe David Ellison and his team like end up doing a lot of consolidation and, you know, knock out a lot of those other secondary, tertiary revenue streams anyway, because they are very tech forward. So who knows? But yeah, I digress. Again, sorry, John. Like we have both sort of gone on too long about this.
But I mean, I had my moment. You have your moment.
So yeah, and here comes Georgie.
But it's not the last of the, you know, Timothy Chalamet dunking. It's more. This is more just like, hey, you're a fucking idiot, kind of, and then we'll move on. But Misty Copeland says Timothy Chalamet wouldn't be an actor if it weren't for opera and ballet. Quite literally, because his 2 previous generations were ballet dancers. So literally, if his mother or grandmother were not ballet dancers, he might not be here. Because, like, that's how, like, history works. So, like, if they weren't ballet, maybe they wouldn't have met, like, the series of events to meet his grandparents meeting, his parents meeting might not have been that way if they were not in ballet. So, hiya, Georgie. Anyway, but it's, but yeah, it's just kind of funny how that works out. And, yeah, Timothy's dumb. He dumb. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. Just stop talking, as Liz would say. Stop talking. You know who shouldn't stop talking, though? The people of the MCU. Because you know who's great, Dan? It's Steven Yeun. He's great, isn't he?
You're talking about
like,
Louis Pullman again? Remember his soapbox comment from yesterday? That was hilarious.
Yeah, but like Steven Yeun's cooler.
So... we got cat butt again. Sorry.
We'll just remove that until you we're good. Okay. Okay, we're good.
Caught it that time.
At least it's clean. Like at least it's pink and not brown. So like there's that. I'll give it that.
It's a she, but yes, I do have a he somewhere.
So speaking of Louis Pullman, though, Steven Yeun was apparently the original Sentry before he had scheduling conflicts with Mickey 17. So he went to do that, and you know, hey, but both were failures, both were bombs. So you know, it maybe it worked out, but Mickey 17 was the better movie. So you know, it's fine. But he has broken silence apparently on, you know, casting rumors for this. Apparently, some say he was cast as Mr. Negative, even though Mr. Negative is Chinese and Steven Yeun is Korean. So, but like, hey, that doesn't care to the fan casting people because, like, you know, they're racist and all Asians look the same to them, I guess. I don't know. But during an interview with Comic Book, the actor responded to the rumors and denied that he was ever in line to join Spider-Man Brand New Day. Oh man, if there was, I wouldn't. I don't know about it, but that would have been dope. So, and then of course, like if he had seen Thunderbolts, because he was supposed to be in that movie, and then it never happened. And he's like, I did see it. I love Jake. I love Jake Schreier. Incredible human director. I did see it, and I never say never. I'm around. So it would be cool to see him in a future film. Whether it is obviously not a Century, but whatever other character, I think he would be awesome to see. Awesome to see him in the MCU or even the DCU. That would be cool. I know he's too old for Nightwing at this point, but like definitely like 10 years ago.
I mean, because Hudson Williams already got that down, so like it's
Well, who knows? But it's funny because I actually talked with a friend of mine. We were talking about like fan casting, and I was like, "Oh yeah, there's been like people that have wanted Hudson Williams as Nightwing," and she just texted me like 16 no's in like succession. She's like, "No, no, 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 oh God, no." Yeah, it was just so funny. She's like, worst fan casting in fucking history. And I'm like, damn, okay. But it's just funny how those things come out. But she's a bigger comic book fan than I am, so she probably has more to say in regards to that. But yeah, I think whoever Steven Yeun is cast as next, whether it's an IP or not, it would be a delight. I still need to catch up on Invincible. But I know the show has been kind of like okay now. I know I remember like people complaining that they nerfed Adam Eve, which is not great. But yeah. So Steven Yeun, whatever you're cast as next, I will be excited for it. But in terms of other things, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4 possibility addressed by 3 franchise veterans. But CBR was recently in attendance at the Emerald City Comic-Con, where Michael Rooker, Sean Gunn, and Pom Klementieff were all on hand to discuss a possible Guardians 4. Klementieff said, "I don't know. We never talked about a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4. It was always imagined as a trilogy." I almost said Sean Penn, Jesus Christ. Sean Gunn, he said, in some ways, it's almost like
Can
a
you
little
imagine?
above my pay grade. That very different. It's like if they decide to do it, if they decide that they can put the pieces together and get the right cast and get a script that they really like and that works, then it would depend on who wrote that script and who was putting it together. And by that point, there would already be somebody who was a part of it, so I don't know. So, and then Michael Rooker had nothing to fucking say, so, because he's dead in that universe. So the third one was
Michael Rooker is alive. Michael Rooker's character
alive, but in the universe he's dead.
Yondu.
The third one was incredible, but also heartbreaking because we knew it would be the last one, so it's really special that way. The Christmas special was so fun to shoot, so I just loved it so much. Thank goodness it didn't go on further. It would become like, speaking of Steven Yeun, it would become like The Walking Dead. Please, enough already. And then could still appear in another movie as well, maybe like a big universe-bending crossover. So, yeah, a little bit of a clickbait headline. Sorry, guys, but I know Guardians 4 is not on the horizon. It's probably not going to happen anytime soon, if at all. So, they'll probably leave it as is because they don't want to mess with James Gunn's vision. So,
I think Kevin Feige and James Gunn being as close as they are, like genuinely, not just work friends, but like they are friends in real life beyond just the day jobs that they have. I don't think Kevin Feige would go behind James Gunn's back. I don't think there's a need for it right now because like they've got plenty to worry about as is. If they do decide to do another Guardians movie, I would imagine James Gunn would give it his blessing because he'd be like, yeah, sure, you want to do a new Guardians team, go on. I mean, the expectation and the bar would be really high. So but I don't think they're like in a rush. Like right now they've only got like maybe 2 or 3 movies in development to begin with. So yeah, I think it makes sense like that they're not really worried about it at this time. Plus, yeah, why start a new trilogy when you gotta do like a Shang-Chi 2 first. Sorry, like do a second Shang-Chi movie before you give us like a 4th Guardians movie. That's something we haven't seen that we would probably love to see. So yeah. Anyway, I digress. You're muted, by the way. Sorry, you're muted. I don't know if you were saying anything.
But speaking of sequels, apparently people now just realize that Dakota Johnson is hot. because, you know, now everyone's like fucking going ravenous over her Calvin Klein campaign. And it just now people are just now realizing, oh, Dakota Johnson's hot. It's like, yeah, she's been that way for the past fucking 10, 15 years. She's been part of this goddamn industry. So it's like, that's crazy. It's like, oh my God, she's hot? Yeah, okay. Just because she didn't have feet pics before doesn't mean she wasn't fucking hot, you goddamn gooners. Anyway, so now because she did this fucking Calvin Klein campaign, now everybody wants a Madam Web sequel, even though that's probably not the case. This is probably just a clickbaity headline because nobody really wants a Madam Web sequel. So, you know, yeah.
I mean, look, I saw it. Fiona's watching, so I cannot comment on this. But yes, I did see it. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. It doesn't mean she's any better an actor, but yeah.
No, she's a terrible actress, but like, you know,
everything you said is correct.
Get me 5 more Madam Web films immediately. Probably gonna get demonetized now, but that's okay. It's like she was literally in a movie about sex that started her career. Like, did people not realize this before? Like, hello? With Ron's responsibility and great power will come.
That's very true. That's very
and so will I. Yeah, thanks for that, Caleb. Yeah. Anyway, but
I can't even put that shit on screen. You're right. I mean, Sydney Sweeney was in the movie, Fiona. Like, we saw the movie.
Yeah, they made Sydney Sweeney flat. Like, come on, guys.
Like I don't. Y'all had a really good stream. Okay. Thank you, Caleb, for all the puns. Yeah.
But anyway,
sorry.
Yeah,
I'm just going back to other comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Now we're.
No, you're right, Monique. I mean, she's got great genes, you know, much like Sydney Sweeney. Dakota Johnson's got great genes, so.
But you know, hopefully this campaign won't have everyone believing that she's like a white supremacist or whatever the fuck the new bullshit thing is with Sydney Sweeney. So.
But Calvin Klein was it the same thing? Was it Calvin Klein?
I don't know.
Jeans?
People are dumb.
Am I forgetting? Okay. What was it like? Now I'm actually genuinely like. Did I make a deeper pun that I realized that I did?
No, people aren't saying that. Anyway, let's move on to quick hits. Let's do that.
It was American Eagle. Never mind, different brand. It was American.
Different brand. Calvin Klein and American Eagle are two different brands. Yes.
Calvin Klein make underwear. That's the whole point. Anyway, thank you. You guys
we
are
know.
correcting.
Thanks to Back to the Future, we know. But first quick hit. Ted Lasso, same beard, new look. So, or new book. Sorry. But yeah, for all the people excited for Ted Lasso season 4, there you go. This character, I don't know who the fuck he is.
Well, this is Brendan Hunt, I think. He plays like one of the assistant coaches. Love it. Love to see it. I can't wait for this. This is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be amazing.
But speaking of amazing, maybe I don't know, Bon Jovi movie about early years of iconic rock band set at Universal. So if you were asking for a Bon Jovi biopic with all the music biopic talk we were doing before, there you go. Cool. I guess.
Hey, you know what? We're all gonna be living on a prayer. So I can't wait for this movie.
Yeah.
We're halfway there.
I shot the sheriff. I don't know. I was trying to. Anyway. Yeah. James Wan to direct The Gangster, the Cop, the Devil for Paramount. Isn't that just Lucifer? Anyway, the filmmaker via Blumhouse Atomic Monster also joins the producer ranks for the reimagining of the Korean action crime thriller. So it's either going to go one of two ways. Either it's going to be one of the best things ever or one of the most dog shit remakes of all time. We'll have to wait and see. But will this go the way of Oldboy or will this go in the way of The Ring? We'll have to wait.
Well, I mean, James Wan hasn't missed with stuff like Aquaman, where you would think that he had every opportunity to miss. So I trust James Wan, like, until he proves me different. This was one of the big news, movie news of the day, like in terms of like, oh, big thing being made now, kind of thing. So I'm interested. It piques my interest at the very least. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's not being made. Apparently, Alison Brie's Witness Protection pilot. This isn't not happening, so if you wanted to see more Alison Brie, well, you're going to have to wait for other stuff. So, yeah. Sorry.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But we have some union news, but CBS News 24/7 unionized writers deliver strike pledge as negotiations continue for new contract. So, yeah. they're not taking anything lying down, and I wish the best for them, especially now that they're owned by David Ellison. Oof.
Yeah.
But
fair enough. But yeah. It's always good when, you know, unions get a win, because we live in a world where unions unions exist to protect the workers' rights. Yeah. So yeah, we live in a society. Anyway, let's keep on going.
But that's not the only union news we have. Motion capture workers at NBA 2K Studio ratify first union contract with IATSE. The crew union is calling the deal a historic first for motion capture video game workers in the U.S. Congratulations.
Yeah, this is
Very
good.
nice.
This is great. I mean, Jason Tatum just came back. Go Celtics. Let's get to the finals. Let's win another title. Banner number 19, here we come.
No, how about not? Anyway, Josh Lucas, Tim Blake Nelson, and Josh Duhamel among those rounding out cast of Paramount's Western thriller The Rescue, starring soon-to-be Batman Brandon Sklenar.
Wait, what? Soon to be who?
No, what?
Okay.
I didn't say that. Anyway.
Did you say that? What? Oh, okay. Whoosh, John. We're not supposed to talk about that. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, guys, James Gunn told me, like, specifically that he was like, oh, John, don't tell anybody. But I'm like, gotta tell people, James. He's like, all right, fine. But, you know, I'm in it with James, you know. We're like this. Anywho, but yeah, so if you guys were excited for this, we got some more names here, so cool. Great. Nice. And also the rich get richer. Dr. Dre is finally a billionaire. Finally.
Hey,
cool.
finally.
Another asshole is a billionaire. Woohoo.
What?
Although
okay.
I enjoyed his GTA online mission, so that was fun. But yeah, I don't really care.
Cool. All right.
Anywho.
Good for Dr. Dre.
Good for Dr. Dre. I don't know. But that's it.
Okay.
See, quick hits.
Quick and dirty.
The quick hits were actually quick today. They were like 2 minutes. Not even.
Yep.
So Dan.
Hashtag quickies.
You know what we're not just dealing with hashtag quickies, but we are indeed hashtag blessed. So let's get
right.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in the stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto. Hunka hunka.
Hello, welcome to DCU Daily. Very lovely to see you all. I am your host, John. I hope you've had a wonderful day today. We don't have a ton of DC news, but we do have a little bit. And then we are going to be getting into Tier List Tuesday today, where we will be talking about the 2026 Best Picture nominees. So get pumped for that. And I have to introduce my co-host, Dan. Dan, how are you doing on this wonderful day? And what are you excited to talk about in regards to the realm of DC news?
Yeah, no, I'm actually, excited to talk about James Gunn and all the anniversary updates he got for us. Actually, not only do we want to get into the James Gunn stuff, the Maria Gabriela de Furia, MGDF as we sometimes call her, actually gave us a nice look at their costume fitting as the engineer. We'll call it a follow-up to the Dakota Johnson story. I'm only kind of like half. That's kind of bait, the clickbait. But anyway, there's that, and then of course we got to talk about the DC slate, not just the DCU slate. We're talking about the DC slate because I think I saw something on DC Film News, and they were just sort of like putting together a list of projects that DC has in development, or they're either like set to release this year, or they're officially announced and somewhere in development held, like Paradise Lost. But then there's stuff that's already announced for like 2028, like Dynamic Duo. And I think it was just a nice high level overview. Let's kind of like take account and see what's what and what's there and what's not there anymore, and kind of see what's up with DC. Is it really worth waiting it out? Because this is the kind of thing that now that David Ellison has started to make some level of connection and start to establish the relationships with the Warner Brothers executives, aka James Gunn, Peter Safran included. I'd imagine he's probably looking at that slate and making some decisions, or like, making some judgments at the very least, like because in a couple of years he'll be the one who's going to be funding all that stuff, or even in a year's time. So I think it's worth talking about.
But obviously the first thing that we are going to be talking about is your boy Dan, your favorite boy, and that is, of course, Zack Snyder. He shares apparently a cryptic post ahead of the Snyder Cut's 5th anniversary. 5 years ago, we got the infamous Snyder Cut of Justice League. Superior,
infamous.
Yes, good,
it's a fun movie. It took me 2 nights to watch it.
In regards to the fact that he got the movie taken away from him, and the Snyder Cut had to exist because Warner Brothers was being assholes to him and using the death of his daughter against him. So that's what I was talking about. Infamous.
I'm glad those people at Warner Brothers don't work for Warner Brothers anymore, because they did not deserve to for what they did to Zack. Like, regardless of how you felt about his movies, there's better ways to go about what you wanted to do. Not to mention, at the end of the day, they were doing it simply for their freaking bonuses. Like, talk about capitalist greed, It's I thought, like, regardless of what we think about the Snyder Cut, there's never been a bigger win for fans, like, making something happen since Star Trek got renewed after it got canceled back in the 60s. Like, and that was like Star Trek. Like, this was huge. Like, this was, I don't think that it will ever happen again. And to all credit to the fans who campaigned for it, and I'm not talking about the toxic fans, because I think there's like a very small subset of those fans who kind of turn toxic over it because they're just like, I want my thing, why am I not getting my thing, I'm gonna cry about it for the rest of my life, and like make other people's life living hell. Like, it's just just be grateful. But anyway, Zack Snyder, 5 years on. John, talk about what he said, because I think this is interesting, and he actually posted a photo. Right, so we'll get into that in a second.
And I'll scroll down to that in a second. But he said, 8 days from now, we mark the 5th anniversary of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then the quote from the movie, you said the Age of Heroes will never come again. It will. It has to 5 years later, and the Age of Heroes still feels very real. And this is the picture that he showcased on Instagram. Let me click on it. And, this is that set from Wayne Manor, one of the best looking Wayne Manors we've ever gotten.
Dude, that thing literally looks like the Greek Parthenon. Like, it's insane
I'm
how
pretty sure that was the point.
Grand.
Yeah.
That was the point. Yes. Yeah. I know, but like, you know what I mean.
But great stuff. And there he goes. There he goes again. Anyway.
Well, do you think because remember the original like Snyder Cut got announced because they were doing like this special screening, and then Henry Cavill pops up and they're like, do you want to tell him? Like, oh, why don't you tell him? I'm like, okay, I'll tell him. It's like, I don't know if there's anything coming out that's going to be like, oh, 5-year anniversary, get the 5-year edition of this with some new commentary or behind the scenes or whatever. That, I imagine, if anything he's teasing, that's probably what it is. But I don't think James Gunn and Zack Snyder have been working under the hood on some kind of revival or continuation. If they were to announce something... Sure. But if they were to announce something like, I don't know, like an animated Justice League 2 or 3, like we've talked about before, I wouldn't be surprised, and I certainly would look forward to seeing it, especially if you're able to bring the actors back to voice those roles. And like, it would cost a lot of money, and I don't know if that's a decision James Gunn wants to make. He's putting a lot of money towards building out the new stories that he's trying to tell, but if there's enough fan demand for it, that maybe you can justify it. But nonetheless, even if it is building up to nothing in particular other than just the anniversary, we're 8 days away, a week away now, pretty much, from the 5th anniversary of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which, if not for nothing else, it gave Zack Snyder closure from a time when he lost his daughter to suicide. Like, just leave everything else out of it. Just look at it on a human level. I think this movie was very important and still is very important to Zack Snyder and his entire family, to Deborah Snyder, to their kids. And I can't even imagine the pain that he still probably feels and the grief over losing, his daughter to something like that. And then to have that be something that happens so much in the public eye. So I think like it's there's a mental health aspect of this that we don't appreciate about Zack Snyder sometimes. That just gets glazed over because we talk about their toxic fandom and stuff. And I'm not saying like you guys would talk about like, oh, maybe Zack Snyder should. Of course, he's aware of the toxic fandom. I don't think he's ever explicitly defended that. But nonetheless, I'm just saying I appreciate seeing him in a healthy state of mind and reminiscing back at this stuff, because I'm sure there were years between 2017 and 2021 when he wouldn't even want to look back at this stuff because it reminded him of what happened around that time, within his family, such a personal tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and Monique saying, by the way, I'm honestly more impressed Henry can fit in the original suit because he gained so much mass for roles. I know. He's like, we thought he was huge for Superman. Like, he's done others, like the Guy Ritchie movies he's been in. He looks even more massive. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, it's happening. I love the Office meme. Bring it. The Snyder cult is showing out strongly for this. So, but not every tease leads up to another Snyder cut, like maybe we should think about it that way. A lot of like factors had to come together for that to happen. And it was ultimately driven by the fact that they wanted something big for HBO Max when it was launching. I don't see a similar business opportunity right now, a reason beyond the fans want to see it.
David Ellison, hey guys, what if we did something?
But he's not in there yet. Like
No,
the
he's not
company,
in
like
there yet,
you know what I
that's
mean.
the
Like he's
thing.
not making those decisions. This would still be a David Zaslav, Gunn and Safran decision ultimately. And again, Zack Snyder, James Gunn are good friends. They've worked together. They've crossed paths. They've met each other. They probably crossed paths multiple times, but they did not take photos that we haven't seen. They probably talk to each other often. I mean, he did not that they're like texting each other every day, like, how you doing, dude? Like, did you have lunch today, or blah blah blah. But like, or did you read my whatever, like, Instagram post about the Snyder cut? Like, hint hint, like eyes emoji. Like, I don't think that's what they're doing, but yeah. But thank you, MTG, for pointing out again. I'm glad that Zack Snyder's in a good space. Yeah. So I'm just happy to see this. That's all. 5 years later, like, it's a 4-hour long movie, and it's a triumph for fandom in a lot of ways. I mean, like you said, there's been side effects of it, but I think movies are timeless. We talked about this like an extended, like when we were talking about the whole Timothy Chalamet situation. Movies are meant to be timeless in a lot of ways, and some of the movies that like endure through time, they do that. Because like the Lawrence of Arabia we talk about today, we talk. There's certain movies, 2001: A Space Odyssey, we talk about today. Like years from now, we will still be talking about Interstellar or Bonnie and Clyde. Like 50 plus years later, we still talk about it today. And a movie like Sinners, I bet you will be talking about in 40 years from now. So. And I'm not putting Zack Snyder's Justice League in the same category in terms of quality necessary. I'm saying what I'm trying to get at is the value of the fan campaign that led to that happening will live beyond the cultists that are advocating and bullying, which is the narrative around it today. That narrative will die before the value of what that was, because you could have said the same thing about the Star Trek fans, because there were probably some very toxic Star Trek fans at the time when they were campaigning to bring the show back. But today we don't look back at it and think about that aspect of things. We look back at it as like the fans campaigned NBC and Star Trek returned, and then that led to everything else Star Trek became, from the Next Generation to the movies to everything else, the good, bad, and the ugly. Star Trek would not be what it is today if that wasn't like the fans like bringing the show back. So that's what I'm trying, the long-winded way of me trying to say it's, and I'm not comparing Lawrence of Arabia to Zack Snyder's Justice League in terms of the movies themselves. I'm talking about the value of like, what happened around and ultimately I'm talking about like us people, like fans, like our voices were heard. Like there's so many times where like, don't make The Mummy with Tom Cruise, but like Universal still did it. Like how it's like, how many times do fans like actually have that like measurable effect on like a Hollywood? And again, like I said, like it was still a business decision, but they wouldn't have made the business decision. They could have made other business decisions if there wasn't that, fan demand for it. And so again, I digress, but like the point has been made. Let's keep on going.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but now we move on to stuff people actually care about. Absolute Batman. Number 19, variant cover fully reveals nightmare-inducing absolute scarecrow, which is definitely pretty awesome. And there it fucking is. Like, good lord, Like that's really cool. And it's funny because somebody recently posted some early concept art of Joker from The Dark Knight, and it looks very similar. So I don't know if they maybe use that as like sort of inspiration, but yeah, this looks fucking. And you have like him with the fucking bat axe that comes off his chest. So that's pretty fucking awesome. Remember, guys, there is only one Snyder that should be talking or doing anything at DC, and that is Scott Snyder. So, yeah. But yeah, this is fucking awesome.
It is definitely absolute, and I'll leave it there.
But that's not the only thing we got today. This is the yeah. Well, let's do this first. You know, her Gabrielle De Faria as the engineer with that face. You know.
It's like they're zipping up her costume. Like you read what
like
she
she's
says.
About to like she's like either I didn't realize this suit would be as tight as it was, or she's about to like be on wires like for the first time, and it's like
ooh, like that moment caught on camera. Like, oh yeah, did not see that part coming. Like it's like you know when you realize like what you signed up for like in a way that you didn't think would be the case.
Yeah. So very amusing, very nice. But
it is. Yeah.
Then we have all upcoming projects to be talking about. This from Nexus Point News. So this is every DC project coming out for the foreseeable future. Unknown release dates, like definite release dates, whatever it is. This is everything. So we're gonna get into it right now. And the first thing, obviously, Supergirl, that's going to be coming out in 3 months. No, a little bit more than 3 months, like 3.5-ish months, on June 26, 2026. So 6/26/26. Very nice. But then the next thing we have is, unfortunately, Lanterns. That's going to be coming out sometime in August, whether it's early or late August.
I'm just saying, like, give it a shot. You know, like, unfortunately, it feels
I'm going to have to watch it for the show. So, like,
that's true. That's actually very true.
Yeah.
You will have to watch for the show.
Yeah, so, you know, I better get fucking paid double during that time. Anyway. But next up, going from September 11th to October 23rd is Clayface, the James Watkins directed, Mike Flanagan written Clayface film. So, very exciting. One of my most anticipated of the year. Then, finally, Man of Tomorrow for July 9th next year. Very exciting. We're finally getting Brainiac by some, you know, random German guy, but, you know, I'm sure he'll do a good job because remember, Germans always make good bad guys. So that's from Flula Borg himself. So, you know, then we have The Batman, part 2, coming October 1st, 2027. We'll see if that's still the case because who knows, that being delayed so many goddamn times.
Well, so I'm like we're going through it, but like, do you want to talk about some of the because I'm like the slate this year? Like, how are you feeling about the slate this year? Like,
I'm not feeling great about the slate. Like, I'm excited for one. I'm on the fence about another, and then I'm not excited at all for another. So it's just like this is just kind of a weak sauce year. Meanwhile, for next year, I'm very excited. You have Man of Tomorrow and the Batman Part 2 coming out. Even though I didn't love the Batman as much as everyone else did, I'm still very excited for that film. So I'm excited for both of those and whatever else is coming out in 2027. Yeah. I think that's
Do you think that Jimmy Olsen show would be 2027, or is that too soon?
I don't know. I mean, it was announced like last year technically, so you know, I don't know if they're like ready to film yet. So they don't even have a name yet. So I don't even know.
That's fair. Well, isn't oh, that's true. It's not an official name. I'm thinking of like they've got like unofficial working, but I mean technically the show doesn't really exist because we never got like a DC official announcement on it. It's just been something that Like for example, like it's something that James Gunn hasn't even really addressed it truly. It's and what we heard about it so far, like there was that report I think in the trades, which trade reporting generally is reliable, but uh, it wasn't a press release. James Gunn never officially addressed it, I don't think. But the fact that this has kind of gone under the radar, like without, I mean, James Gunn's been asked about it, so either he's purposefully avoiding it, or maybe the rumors of it entering production this year are just that, rumors. But as of right, yeah, I'd imagine maybe 2027, 2028 could be that. Do you? By the way, I don't know if it's on here, but do you think that like they will do a Checkmate show? Is that like? Do you think that's still just an idea, or was that just fans sort of like running away with speculation about where we will next see those? The 11th Street gang.
I don't know. It's just, I who fucking knows anymore? Like, I'm kind of at a space of like, if it doesn't come from James Gunn's mouth, it just like doesn't even matter. Because like I kind of believe other stuff, but like then it's just like, oh, we're not doing that. I don't know. It's just whatever it is. It's just I don't fucking know.
All right, fair enough. I just wanted to put it out there. I'm just like thinking out loud.
No, that's fine.
Do you think Man of Tomorrow makes more money, or the Batman Part 2 makes more money?
Oh, Batman. I mean, come on, it's Batman.
Even though the Man of Tomorrow comes out in summer time, like, and Batman Part 2 comes out in October.
It's Batman.
Which, you're right. That's right, guys. Remember, DC is the house that Batman built. Detective Comics.
Yes.
Always. And like Caleb likes to say, there's only two characters in all of comics. There's Batman, and then there's everyone else. So.
I thought I was going to say Batman and Spider-Man and then fuck everybody else, but yeah. But in terms of unknown release dates is the stuff that's next.
Mm-hmm.
We have Batman Brave and the Bold, which unfortunately is still being written by Christina Hodson and being directed by Andy Muschietti. I don't have a ton of faith in that, but like we'll see. But
again, like the point there is that Christina Hodson is a good writer, maybe in her own right. It's just the work that she has made, I don't know, like kind of gets a bad rap because, like James Gunn mentioned, the script from where like where it starts to where it ends up, it's like a script could sound amazing on paper, but the director could take it in a very different direction. Like it could still really be the script. You read it and you're like, okay, so that is the movie that looks like the script, sounds like the script, but the script sounded so much better. So maybe it is that. Like maybe Christina Hodson's always written great scripts. I mean, Bumblebee was a good one, but maybe they can do her justice in a way that it wasn't done before. So, and pardon the pun, but anyway.
But yeah. Although Dynamic Duo has a release date, so I don't know why that wasn't included in the official release dates, but
is it? Yeah. Maybe I think it's farther down the line. No, is
maybe.
It, or am I?
There it is. It says Dynamic Duo release date unknown, even though it's coming out in I think like
no, that's the one that has a date. Like they actually gave it a 2028 release date, right?
Yeah.
We did see the variant Batman absolute Batman cover. I don't know if it's we talked about it maybe yesterday, Enterprising, but
that's coming out in June 30th, 2028.
It's got a release date.
Officially comes out.
It's got a release.
Dumbasses.
Yeah.
Anyway. Then Paradise Lost. We don't know know if that's coming out again. Wonder Woman, that's been greenlit but not have a release date yet. Same with Swamp Thing. Teen Titans, we don't even know if that's happening anymore. The Jimmy Olsen show, the release date's unknown. Creature Commandos, that's coming out apparently next year. That kind of makes sense, but very interesting. And apparently they have Captain Atom right there. My Adventure Superman season 3, although this person says it's still coming in 2026, so either this got delayed and he did not know, or this is wrong. Then you have Mr. Miracle, unfortunately, that's coming out soon. Then V for Vendetta, that was the idea that TV show got greenlit, but who knows if that's coming out soon, so we'll see.
I mean, that one is also a bit of a question mark, right? Because after the reports came out, we kind of found out that maybe it's not as much of a certainty as that initial report made it out to be. So there's always the chance that like might still end up. I mean, there are a lot of projects that end up in like, you know, development hell. Like we thought Paradise Lost. I mean, Paradise Lost probably is lost in development hell still. It's just, it's not dead. And James Gunn clearly went out of his way to point out that it's still in development. So whether that's him sticking out his neck for a project that he announced as part of his original slate, or they really do believe in it and they're still working on it, it would be interesting to see, you know, how it all plays out ultimately.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then we also have Booster Gold, Waller, and The Authority, but even James Gunn himself said that might not be the case anymore, as well as Superpowers. I kept calling it Superhero High. I don't know why, but My Adventures with Green Lantern, Starfire, and Superpowers are all animated shows coming out soon. So wherever those, like Starfire is like, it's like a cosmic adventure. My Adventures with Green Lantern is so different from what like anything Green Lantern related is, but like it's probably still gonna be better than the live action show. And then Superpowers is like, it's like superhero high school or superhero college, I think. So yeah,
that one I'm not sure if that's still happening. Is that still happening? I don't know if that one is still like yeah, that's a tricky one for me. I don't know like the superhero power. But as far as the Starfire and My Adventures with Green Lantern, we know like they're gonna have Jessica Cruz in there, which will be fun to see. And we know that most of these shows are not gonna be, well, I think all three of these particularly are not gonna be canon to the DCU, so we do know that. Whereas Mr. Miracle will be, which again, I think it's we should definitely again point out they cast a dark side. They have a dark side, and if James Gunn's philosophy still applies, then that means whoever that actor is that's playing Darkseid is gonna be he's gonna be maybe the live action voice of the character, or like if you get a Mr. Miracle in live action, Big Bertha, like those characters. I'm very interested to see, you know, who they have cast in those roles. Yeah, that would be interesting. But I'm excited. That, I mean, despite the fact it's a Tom King thing. I know, like, you're probably like, oh, it's a Tom King thing, so, like, don't care, but...
You know, it's fine. But we still have one more entry in DCU Daily, and that is... What did Gunn say? Ring, ding, 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 ding. Anyway.
Yes.
But,
what
you
did
know,
the
after
Gunn
Jennifer
say?
Holland got the Saturn Award, you know, James Gunn did say something about it. So he said, thanks so much to Saturn Awards and the fans for honoring Peacemaker with this award, and to Freddie, and I don't know who that is, I would assume that's Jennifer Holland, for accepting this award, and especially...
That was Jennifer Holland. It was.
So Jennifer Holland, I don't know who's... Oh, Sol Rodriguez. Okay. For accepting this award.
Oh, that was, yes. Sol Rodriguez and Freddie Strom, and then
Freddie Stroma, and then Jennifer Holland. So for this beautiful speech with a crying emoji, a heart emoji, a moose emoji, and a mermaid emoji. So there they are.
Well, the mermaid emoji is how they end the written speech that he gave Freddie to read out was also ended with that. So yeah.
Yeah. So very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So, it is indeed very nice.
Very nice words.
Very
but
nice.
Next up, we have a couple anniversaries. Your boy Lobo, happy anniversary to the main man himself.
The
Hopefully
main
man has something to say in the comments. But Lobo didn't just enter the comic scene; he exploded into it with his first appearance in the Omega Men, a comic and a team that nobody fucking remembers. The Omega Men #3, written by Roger Slifer, with pencils by Keith Giffen and inks by Mike DiCarlo. See Jason Momoa become Lobo in Supergirl on June 26th. So hell yeah. Happy birthday to the main man himself.
Yeah, it's like what was the stable that The Rock was a part of in the 2000s? The Nation of Domination, was it? It's kind of like that. Nobody remembers it. Well, I mean, some people do remember the Nation of Domination, but it's you know, like Lobo was like The Rock. He like became the singular superstar that came out of that. And people kind of forgot about the Omega Men. Although James Gunn, known for his deep cuts, I'm sure he's
the Omega Men are kind of sort of like the closest thing to DC's Guardians of the Galaxy. Either them or like although Challengers of the Unknown is more like DC's Fantastic Four, but they kind of have that vibe, as well as like Legion, not Legion of Superheroes, Legion. That's kind of Guardians of the Galaxy-esque. So, it's kind of that vibe, and nobody they were in the Invasion crossover, and then they kind of fucked off, and nobody really cares about them anymore. So, the Omega Men could show up. That would be kind of fun. But yeah, we love Lobo. We can't wait to see Jason Momoa as Lobo. This is good stuff. Love to see it, but not the only anniversary, from today. But today is the Dave Faria already mentioned this, but today is the Engineer's anniversary. This is a shot of her and her body double on the set of Superman to celebrate. You idiots! You didn't get them. You got their stunt doubles. Anyway, but yeah, awesome.
No, this was actually, so what Maria posted was in response to the James Gunn post.
Yes, that's why she said, I heard through the grapevine that was the engineer's birthday today, so she posted that. So it was a little bit out of order, but that's okay. James Gunn did post about the engineer. So both the engineer and the Lobo were introduced. Very nice to see. Thanks,
Very
Caleb.
nice. Very nice.
But yeah.
John, are like right now, if I had to just ask you a quick question, of the 3 projects coming out this year, which is your most anticipated?
Clayface.
Clayface. Okay. Clayface. But you haven't seen anything from Clayface. Like, you really
I don't care. It's Mike Flanagan. He wrote it.
Okay.
Kino. Perfect.
All right.
You got Ricky September as Clayface. Boom. Perfect. James Watkins. Hit and miss, but he did Woman in Black, which I really liked. So good for me.
All right. Cool. I was just like, maybe there's no, you're not wrong. I was just trying to like figure out whether any of the marketing for the other 2 projects have changed your mind.
Supergirl, I'm a little bit more excited about because maybe Ana Aguirre turned like shit into gold, so there's that hope there. So yeah, Lanterns, I have no faith in. It could surprise me, but I have no faith in it right now.
Yeah.
So
I personally, to me, of the 3 projects, I am most intrigued by Lanterns. I am most excited about Supergirl, and I'm cautiously optimistic about Clayface, simply because we haven't really seen anything from it. But I bet you, like CinemaCon, we might see a trailer. That would be a place there would probably.
Also, you're not wrong. That is kind of like a DC's Fantastic Four. However, Challengers of the Unknown was literally created by. I'm pretty sure it was created by Jack Kirby, who would go on to do Fantastic Four. So, that kind of lends itself, because Challengers of the Unknown came first, where it was like 4 people that get go off into like kind of has a similar like tone and idea for Fantastic Four, but they were made in 1957. They were created by Jack Kirby, and and possibly with Joe Simon or Dave Wood doing the artwork for that. So, some have claimed that Kirby reworked the basic concept of the series with Stan Lee to create Fantastic Four 4 years later, but Challengers of the Unknown was first, and they kind of have like that Fantastic Four vibe, kind of like how Doom Patrol came out before X-Men, and both had very similar concepts at the time. Man-Thing and Swamp Thing, Namor and Aquaman, Hawkeye and Green Arrow. It's tale as old as time. It always happens. So,
yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, we've talked about it at length. Like comic book, you guys know, like comic book stories tend to, well, they've been stealing and picking off of each other for years.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But that's been par for the course. So,
and that's it for DCU Daily. We still have one more. Don't worry. Shh. Quiet face. We're still doing Tier List Tuesday, so it's okay, guys. It's okay. We're gonna get to that soon.
Don't go anywhere.
Give us a few minutes, and we are bam zoom to the moon. We are gonna do Tier List Tuesday. So with that, stay #blessed and off to the races. I don't know. I tried to come up with something. It's fine.
It's another project that's been.
We'll shush you however I fucking want, Caleb.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see.
Right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in the stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you wanna shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto. Hunka hunka!
And with that, fuck Tom King, fuck Jeff Snyder, and fuck David Ellison.